Hi VC, George back. Today's video is contest entry to TKR Video Central, the Kirkham Report. We've been subscribed to each other's channels for a long time, so it's only right I do a video for this contest to get him up to 200 subscribers. He's about 450 now. So it's been a brilliant contest for him. Maybe I should do something like that. Anyway, yeah, so show 10 obscure records no one else in the VC has. I'm not going to show really obscure stuff. It doesn't really hold an interest, I think. So 10 artists that people know, 10 records that generally aren't available in the shops, mostly promo albums. So the first LP which was available in the shops but was on the obscure label, and this is Gavin Barnes. This was a series, this is from 1975, and I think it was a series of 8 to 10 albums produced by Brian Eno. That's the obscure label, which was probably EG Records, all produced by Brian Eno. This album's called Sinking of the Titanic. I have about maybe 4 or 5 albums in the series. Brian Eno, Harold Budd, the Penguin Cafe Orchestra. I don't think I ever got that one. Gavin Barnes does a couple of albums. I think Michael Newman does an album, which I might have. Can't remember, it's been that long. Yeah, so this is called The Sinking of the Titanic. There's a track either side. A side is The Sinking of the Titanic. The second track is more interesting, and it's Jesus' Blood Never Failed Me Yet. And as the Titanic was sinking, there was an orchestra on board, and these guys just kept on playing, which is quite sad in a way, tragic. And they played, so Gavin Barnes plays this track, Jesus' Blood Never Failed Me Yet. So we've got Michael Newman on here, organ, John White, tuba. There's double bass, Derek Bailey plays guitar, just a little orchestra playing the track. So this is on Obscure Records, Gavin Barnes, The Sinking of the Titanic. Next off we have the best of Gary Newman. I think I've shown this before. And this was released in Germany very briefly. I think when Beggars Banquet in the UK found out, they got them to delete it, so it's quite hard to find. 10 tracks on here: Down in the Park, Our Friends Electric, and Cars, amongst the others. Fantastic album cover. Gary Newman photograph, a German only release. It was pulled very quickly. Great cover. Next off we have Brian Eno, Music for Airplay. In the UK there was a best of album I've got, not sure if it was released in America or not, but they released this in America for promotional purposes only, not for sale. It's a compilation, his first 4 LPs, his first 4 vocal LPs, and Brian Eno never done a vocal album after that. It's on EG Records, EG Editions. More or less the same track listing as the UK official release, maybe a track or 2 slightly different from that. So this is Brian Eno, Music for Airplay, promo USA copy only. Next off we have in the background is David Sylvian, Alchemy, an Index of Possibilities. Again, this is a UK promotional LP only. Now I think it's maybe been released in recent times as a cash-in on things. So originally this was Words with the Shaman, which was a 12-inch EP. So that's side A, and side 2 is Steel Cathedrals, which was instrumental music for a film, probably half an hour long, short film by David Sylvian and I think his wife. So they made an album out of Steel Cathedrals. Was originally released as a cassette, and Words with the Shaman was released as a 12-inch EP, and they brought it together on this promotional only LP. As I say, I think it recently got a release. A couple of Japan guys are on this. Riichi Sakamoto, Asami Tushia plays on it too. David Sylvian. Next off we have Robert Palmer, Best Of Greatest Hits. That's the tracks Inside Out, Upside Down. Yeah, he released a Greatest Hits album probably around about this time, 285, and this is just a promo copy of it with a different cover, I think. I'm sure it's probably the same track listing as Greatest Hits Volume 1. Probably easy to find this, although it was promo only. So that's Robert Palmer. Greatest Hits. Next off we have Chameleon by David Sylvian. David Sylvian, fucking Bill Nelson. Cracking up. Yeah, this is just music for library music. So there's about 25 little tracks on it for radio, adverts, etc. Again, not available in the shops. That's the label. So that's Chameleon, Bill Nelson, library music. Next off we have Michael Hedges, Strings of Steel. Now this is a best of LP, which was only released in the UK and Europe, I think. Released a compilation, Michael Hedges, because he was doing a tour at the time, and this is a USA promo copy, which has a different sleeve, completely different sleeve from the UK version. It's real nice, on Windham Hill Records, and it comes with a little promotional pack. So yeah, he's doing an American tour too at the time. On tour. We've got some photos of Michael there, promotional pictures, and some paper reviews. So Michael Hedges, acoustic guitar, as you can see, brilliant guitarist, one of my favourite guitarists. He does a little vocal too. He's got, I think, had one vocal album. Sadly, he died in a car accident. Aerial Boundaries is a track to have a listen. And he does a fantastic version of All Along the Watchtower, which isn't on this one. So there's a track or two different from the UK release, but fantastic album. Michael Hedges, promo only, Strings of Steel. Next off we have Style Council, Modernism, A New Decade. Now this is the album. Style Council only done 4 albums for Polydor. This is the 5th album they done, which was never released. Polydor closed their contract and Paul Weller went on to be solo artiste. So this is only a promo copy. It was released as a single album 33, released, given out, or it was released as a 2LP 45 at the time. Again, not available in the shops. I think recently too it's been given a release, an official release, but for years it was only available in a box set CD, and so I picked this up at the time. Fantastic to have. It's sort of a dance album, style council go dance music, and they were dropped from the label. So next off we have Jock Scott. What's it called? My Personal Collodion. Now, Jock Scott was a great friend of my friend. I never knew Jock. It's my mate's best man actually, and this is Davy Henderson from the Fire Engines, who does the music on the album. So it's a collection of, I mean, there's 18. There's no tracks. It's poetry and just short stories. And Davy Henderson plays along to the music. Jock Scott was quite a character. He went to see Ian Dury in Edinburgh, and the next day he was playing football and thought he was going to see Ian Dury in Newcastle. So he was playing football and he just jumped on a bus in his football kit, went down to Newcastle, met up with Ian Dury again. Ian Dury took him on tour. He was quite a character, this guy, from Musselburgh near Edinburgh, and he ended up working. He got him a job in Stiff Records for getting bands to the label and whatever. He ended up marrying a woman in 4 weddings and a funeral, had a girl to her, I think, and stayed down in London for a long time. Was on drugs quite a lot, was Jock, and Pooch, as he was called, and he would write these, get up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning off the drugs and write little stories and poems, and eventually they were put to music, and I think he'd done the Edinburgh Festival and whatever, done a few gigs, and Davy Henderson would back him. So yeah, you can find this album. I think probably not many copies are out there, but Jock Scott, quite a character, unfortunately died of cancer. Jock Scott. And last but not least, I picked this up. I've never played it. Bob Seger's Guitar Guide for Folk Singers. It shows you all the chords. I've watched it and never played it. I must give it to someone who would appreciate more. I've got somebody in mind for it. Yeah. So a record quite obscure. I don't think anybody's got, maybe more. It's from 1959 or so. This is a UK release. Guitar Guide for Folk Singers, Bob Seger. Okay, that's my entry in. Catch you later, bye then.